Anthony on Air podcast. Jay Sab's with us. Bombshell in the Ghislaine Maxwell ordeal. Plus, we talk about Kanye a little bit more and 3D printed chicken nuggets, a disgusting end to what hopefully will be an otherwise wonderful podcast. Thanks for joining us. So, Bombshell in the Ghislaine Maxwell deal. This is the story today coming out of the Sun. A 48-year-old woman identified as Tiffany Doe says that she walked in on Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell watching a video of Prince Andrew with a topless girl.
Ooh.
Bombshell. Yeah, this thing just...
You heard it first here.
Unless you read it in the Sun or the Post or
Right.
100 other things. But yes.
But I'm pretty sure you heard it first here.
But you might have heard it first here. That is true. Maybe you read it there, but heard it here. There's so much to unpeel in this little tiny onion of stink right here, because it's like, it's now painfully obvious that he clearly was filming these people. In fact, the article goes on to say that the fact that there were cameras in bedrooms in his homes was an open secret.
Ooh.
Right. So, like, I guess meaning that it was a secret, but kind of everybody knew that it. Now, I wonder by everybody if that meant just the staff and the girls knew, or did these high profile, powerful people like Prince Andrew and God knows who else did they
There's
know?
no way. I don't think they could have known. Do you think they would agree to it? No.
I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would have agreed to it. But here, as you try and figure out how he became the person he became, right, and how he's able to be in photos with former President Clinton and current President Trump and the Prince Andrew and all these powerful people, how did they all revolve around this guy? What if this guy's play was throwing these amazing parties? People would talk about it, having the island. Then they go, right? Maybe they're drugged. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just a little intoxicated. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just disgusting pedophile perverts, right? Whatever it is. But they do these acts, and then they wake up the next morning, and there's little Jeffrey holding a tape or a hard drive going, I got it all on tape, and this is what you're going to do.
Ooh.
Is that what he did?
You could be right on this one.
I'm dying to know. I'm almost kind of hoping that's what he did, because if that's not what he did, then the alternative is this sicko pervert was just holding a pedophile ring for all these other sicko pervert powerful people.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's disturbing.
Hollywood.
Dude.
But not really.
I mean, Hollywood, forget Hollywood, government, everything. I mean, it's
Right.
like, it's like some scary shit right there. That is some scary stuff. Okay. So Tiffany Doe is that's how she's being described. She says that she doesn't know who the girl was in the video, but she was topless. She couldn't entirely see that it was Prince Andrew himself. Said she was looking for Jeffrey to talk to him about something. Couldn't find him anywhere. Didn't know that Ghislaine was in the house. She walks into the room. It's a pitch black room. It was so dark, she says, when I walked in, they didn't notice me. I went to say something, but they were speaking and laughing, so I looked at the screen to see what they were talking about. I don't know who the girl was in the video, but she was topless. I really can't say what her age was. I couldn't see all of Andrew, so I don't know if he was clothed or not. It looked like it was filmed in a bedroom. I don't think Andrew knew he was being filmed, she told The Sun. Maxwell then reportedly said, oh, that's Randy Andy for you. She called him Randy Andy. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
Gross nickname. But then Jeffrey and Ghislaine noticed me and made it clear that they didn't want me in there. Doe told the outlet that it was an open secret that Epstein had cameras in the bedrooms. Jeffrey spent a lot of time in that room watching videos. I'm sure he had videos of girls and guys having sex that he watched as a voyeur, because that was what he was like. But he let everyone know he had power over all these rich and famous people who came to his house. So what that power would be, it was pretty obvious. He would never say to me, come, let's watch this with me. come. He would never say to me, "Come and watch this with me of so and so having sex and see how powerful I am." But he would be like that with Ghislaine.
Okay.
Doe told the Sun that she met Epstein when she was 22 and that he manipulated her into recruiting young girls for himself. The pedophile, committed suicide. Maxwell is in detention, blah, blah, blah. Prince Andrew is still forcefully denying
suicide.
all the allegations and has yet to cooperate with prosecutors, although his legal team insists that he has offered to do so. A spokesman for the Prince's legal team said of Doe's claims, quote, there will doubtless be a welter of these kind of recollections some 10 or more years after the fact, particularly where claims on the Epstein estate are concerned. Where is the evidence? Question mark. I don't even understand half that. There was doubt. It doesn't even make sense to me, but so I mean, that's a lot to unpack there. Like, did these people know that they were being filmed? And if so, like, how many other people
are going to come out?
I mean, if he filmed Prince Andrew, God knows who else was filmed. Like, we talked about those flight logs the other day, but, you know, I mean, more than that, if they actually have footage of these people, like the Prince Andrew photo of him and the one girl who came out is like so damning.
Right.
You know, because there's at least some photo evidence. This is Virginia Roberts Guffrey, and that's Prince Andrew. When he was like, I never met that woman. And they were like, well, what about this photo right here?
Oh.
Look at the hand placement, too. Look at his hand placement.
Come on. Exactly.
And
he's minutes away from seeing her butthole. Minutes.
Yeah. They also unearthed a 2015 interview with President Trump. Let me bring this up for you guys. By the way, he had a bit of a creepy answer yesterday. Somebody asked him about it, which again, this kind of two sides of the coin here. On the one hand, he came out to update everybody on coronavirus, and you kind of want that to be the focus since it's kind of a big deal. And then, so I'm annoyed that the reporter asked him about Ghislaine Maxwell, and then on the other hand, I'm kind of like, well, this is great podcast material, so I'm happy the reporter asked him about Ghislaine Maxwell. But he asked the president about Ghislaine Maxwell, and he basically distanced himself from the whole thing. He's like, I don't know. He's like, but I wish her well. I was like, I don't know if you should wish her well.
Right? That's kind of a weird answer.
Like,
good luck with that sex trafficking ring.
Yeah. I wish her well getting off that, what is definitely the biggest conspiracy case ever to rock
I know.
the world. I felt like a weird thing to say. Like, but I don't know. But if he would have said, I have no comment on that, then people would have been like,
oh, he's involved.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the right answer is, but it's definitely not, I wish her well. I don't know. That's a weird one if you ask me. Anyway, here's the 2015 interview. President Trump, they asked him about Pedophile Island. This is what he had to say here.
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool.
So that was 2015. So I'm guessing he was on the campaign trail, right? Because he won in 16. So by 15, he was well into the campaign trail. And obviously he's famous for running his mouth and literally said that island was a cesspool and asked Prince Andrew about it. I mean, Jesus. So if he knew, what are all these?
It must be exactly. It must be like this, thing that people know about. You know what I mean?
Yes, and
not to us people.
Not us people, but like when you look at that New York socialite scene, I mean, it's everybody from the business tycoon people like Trump and, name your business tycoon here, to probably the Hollywood people, to the Matt Lauers and the, God knows who else was in there just doing like the weird, creepy ass shit.
The dominatrix that I knew.
At lunchtime. Yeah.
That I knew.
The dominatrix that's not, we're supposed to believe is not you, your friend. You're asking for a friend.
Right, my friend.
How hilarious would it be at the end of this podcast if you admitted that you were the dominatrix who took a shit in your coworkers' desk after you flashed your vagina to your boss and sent him a photo?
Oh God.
I want to build up
can't believe I
Janine
did
to
that.
be the second biggest conspiracy theory behind Epstein.
Love it. But you know what? You're right. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that we don't know about. When I worked on Wall Street, besides the shitting in the desks, I learned about a lot of different things that went underground.
Like what? Anything that you want to share?
Oh my God, I hope I don't say this word wrong.
I said mine. I told everybody about mine, that this guy I knew had a bachelor party and this other guy like invited him to go to this place, dropped like a card on him, and that was
Right.
it. But again, I felt like that was all blown out of proportion.
Well, I know that there was this place in the city where you can go, and like it was like a geisha place. Am I saying that word right?
Geisha? Yeah.
Yes. Where legit you could go, and there was different rooms, different girls dressed up like them, and they would kind of like worship you for the night. And I don't even mean sexually. Like, oh yes, mister. You know, just there was guys out there who wanted to be treated like this. I know a guy who went.
I'm being honest with you. I'm literally Googling geisha right now because it's not that I've never heard of it, but I just want to make sure I know what it is. So according to the dictionary, it's a Japanese hostess trained to entertain men with conversation, dance, and song.
Yes, but it's more than that. It's like worshiping them.
Is that what it is?
It is. Yes. From what I know. I remember this guy who I worked with took about 2 or 3 other guys with him. And the whole night, the girl would worship them. Not like specifically. Not 1 for 3. 1, 1, 1.
What do you mean? You lost me there. What do you?
Sorry, they were like paired up with one girl.
So like 3 guys would go and one girl would like worship all of them?
No. I mean, one would worship just one. So each guy would get a girl.
He went with he went with like a group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is okay. See, I don't understand. There's a lot here now I don't understand. So what's the deal? Like, is it like a stripper where you pay for it X amount of time and they just sit there and talk about how great you are?
Okay.
I don't get it.
Me and you both know that's not what it's about. Okay.
No, I don't understand. What does that mean?
Just like, so the girl was like dressed in like traditional geisha wear, and she would just be like worshiping. Supposedly like more white men went, but the guy who I knew was Asian, and he took other Asian guys with him. But apparently they didn't like that. They wanted the white man. And it's a weird concept. It really is.
Yeah.
But they would just like, it's not just about talking. It's about like worshiping. I guess it's kind of like a stripper.
I don't understand. Like, what are they like? Oh my God, your suits are so amazing. Like your hair is so great. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, like just, and I don't even know if it was like so much sexual as it more like was mental. If that makes sense.
See, this is where I have a lot of issues. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of the strip clubs. Never have been. It's the truth. I've been to them. I've gone.
I'm watching you.
I've been to bachelor parties. I've been in strip clubs. It's not my thing. And you could ask anybody that we pal around with. I just kind of stand there.
I'll ask them.
You can. I never was. Here's why I was never into it, because it was all bullshit to me. It was all just to get money out of the pocket. And like when you go there, the girls are like, "Oh, hey, sexy," and first, like, stop it, like, don't. It's like I'm on this earth 23 years. Nobody's called me sexy. I walk into a strip club, suddenly I'm sexy. Like, I'm not that fucking stupid, you know?
GQ Man of the Year.
Yeah. So now look at my earlier days, I went to, it took a while, but like after a while, like I would just, when you first go, you're like curious, like, what's this like, that kind of thing. But then
this girl's just going to dry hump me? Okay.
But then you go, and then it's like, and by the way, never. First of all, the other thing too is I skeeve, so I was never really one for the lap dance area. Yeah,
especially now.
Especially now. But yeah. So it would just never. It just didn't. I just couldn't get in. I'm not like. But I swear to God, and like people I know, and not just people that you and I both know, you'd watch a guy go in there and a girl go, "Hey, sexy," and they would be like,
"Oh, she thinks I'm sexy."
And I would just look at them and want to slap them in the face and be like, "What the fuck is wrong? You have $30 in your pocket. That's the goal,
Exactly.
Like, exactly. Just be genuine of what it really is. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Like, this girl wants your money. She's going to dry hump you for it. And that's it.
But you go in there and you see one guy after the next just dive right into it. And then you see the guys that are like career guys that live in these places because that's the only place that they can really get that sort of attention and or affection or whatever you want to call it. And that just becomes the saddest shit ever. By the way, same thing with the Kanye thing. We were laughing at the Kanye thing. Today's Kanye thing, that's not that funny anymore. Like it's
not.
When it becomes real, it just gets sad. Yeah, it really, really gets sad. So I could never get into that from that part of the street. I couldn't really. That's why I don't really care for them. They're always. And by the way, I would catch a fair amount of abuse from people that we do know because I would go and be like, "Oh, okay," and I wasn't excited, and they'd be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So I mean, I can't imagine this thing being like I don't even.
It's a thing. It was a big thing, like when I worked there. I don't know if it's still a thing. I don't know if they're still doing it, but I wonder if Lee knows about it. I'm gonna ask her. Let's see.
I still can't even picture. I know you're describing it well. I still can't picture it in my head, like what it would be. I don't even get it. I don't get like the worst.
It's not like a strip club. There's like no stage. It's like little rooms, and a girl is in there. She worships you. But I don't really know. I don't think it's actually like stripping. I just Mr. Yes.
Like that's.
By the way, that's not racist.
Do you a little bit? I mean, it says Japanese hostess. Does it have to be a Japanese hostess, or can it be a regular? It has to be a Japanese hostess.
I think it was only Japanese girls who did it.
You want to worship me? Make me a sandwich and don't put the mayo on the bread directly. That's the kind of worship I need.
But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah. And back to what you were saying about like guys, because I've been to a strip club before, the one in Atlantic City, and I couldn't believe the guys were like, calm down.
It's embarrassing.
It is. I felt so bad. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What is that guy doing?
Yeah. It's not. Look, I've gone, you have some drinks, you give the dollars and you do that whole, I've done it. I'm not going to pretend like I haven't done it. I've never done that. The first time I saw that though, I literally was like I couldn't believe this guy was just unloading money and had stacks of it too. And the weird thing was I almost wanted to talk to him more than the girls.
Exactly.
I was like, what do you do
specifically get that for here?
And the gross part about that is like they give you like those singles are just recirculated. So like they give you like singles and it's like came out of some sweaty other weird old man's hand.
Right.
It's so
no, it's going in that girl's butthole.
Oh, it's so disgusting. It's disgusting. Anyway, I was making a point. Now I can't remember what it was because I got so thrown off guard by the money thing. Oh, because you look around and you see all these guys buying into it, and it just and what makes it worse is that there's like hundreds of them sometimes,
Exactly.
and you're just like, what the,
Like, come on, dude, go on, like eHarmony. You have to do this here.
In the weird thing though is like when you start driving, like, and you're a guy and you start driving, but you still can't go out and drink. And you want to go out with your buddies, like that's when we first went. Like that was like,
Oh, really?
yeah, that was like the early, because it's like, what else? You got a car finally, you're working, you got some money in your pocket, you can't go drinking,
So let me just give it to some stripper who's going to give me blue balls. Okay. Did you go to Wiggles on Queens Boulevard the first time?
That was the first one.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That was like the rite of passage. Like that's just what you did, You didn't know any better, but the thing is, and my point, the reason why I'm admitting all these embarrassing things is, like, that's the age to be doing it. When you kind of age out of that early on demographic, man, it's time to stop going to those things.
Like, it's just sad.
It's kind of really sad.
Like, I mean, I'm not a man. I don't have a penis. So I don't see the attraction of it.
Yeah. Well, there's male strip clubs. You never went to a male strip club? You've gone to male strip clubs.
I went to a show at Showboat for mine.
Okay, let me just point this. That was some sexist shit right there. That was some extremely sexist shit. I said, did you go to a strip club? And you, as the female, had to correct me and be like, I went to a show. Excuse me.
It wasn't a strip club. They did the shows on Saturday night. See?
It wasn't a permanent structure, Anthony. It
Exactly.
was okay.
But I've been to the one in the city. That's actual club.
A male strip club?
Yes.
And what was that like? That's disgusting too, if you ask me.
Here is the thing. Here's the difference. When you go to a male strip club, the female gets naked or almost naked and touches her ass to your penis. So there is some humping going on.
Right.
When you go to a male strip club, it's kind of like a joke. There's no like stimulation to get you excited. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you go to a male strip club, they'll bend you over and go like this, like joking around, but they'll never touch you. And you don't get to see their sausage.
But it's kind of, I will say a lot of those early young days of like that, it was a goof a lot of those times too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a goof, especially because like they'll grab like a guy up on stage and like, mess around with him. And
yes. If you're talking about the same one I'm talking about in Atlantic City.
Yeah, they do a lot of that there, which is kind of hilarious to see some guy get the shit kicked out of him on stage.
Right. So I'm going to pay you to beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I never got that either, but it was hilarious to watch some of these idiots just kind of go for it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. How did we get on this? Oh, geisha, that's right.
Oh God, yeah. That's actually.
I still can't picture the room, I still can't.
They said it was like a dark room. I can still remember them telling me so clearly, like, "Oh, we went to a geisha house last night," and I was like, "What is that?"
And they were
like,
talking
"What do you
about
mean
this
you don't know?"
openly, and they were talking about it in front of you.
Well, obviously, they talked about everything in front of me.
Yeah. Sure, the HR department would have an issue with that these days. That's unbelievable.
Oh,
I still can't picture this. Again, you want to worship me. Let's leave me alone for an hour and a half. Let me watch a movie or something. Bring a sandwich in the room. I'm feeling pretty worshipped. If that's what they're doing, I could get down with that.
Make me a margarita.
Oh, margarita. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You say things to me like, I'll take the kids out so you can have some peace and quiet. Like these are the things that gets your old pal Ann going these days, for sure. My idea of an amazing afternoon is a nap at 3:30. Do you want to talk about Kanye or the 3D printed chicken nuggets for next.
Kanye.
So poor Kanye had this crazy spout. Last episode, we talked about the fact that he admitted to the abortion thing and that he was thinking about it. And he then went on a Twitter rant and said that Kim had the pill to do it. I guess there's like a pill that you can kind of do that early on with.
Yeah.
And he said that she had it in her hand. Now, I don't know how true that was, because by the time all this article came out that I was reading, everything that he had tweeted had been deleted, had been taken down.
I know.
And he called out the mother, called out Mama Kardashian, and was like, will you talk to me now? And all this stuff. So Kim's been basically very quiet. That's one thing that we touched on and talked about last episode. Basically, up until about an hour ago, she finally.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You know what? Let's call it 3 hours ago. She finally put out a statement. I'm not gonna even read it. It's basically she's calling for some compassion from people. Like, she's. Let me read it for everybody. Wait, did she take it down already? She took it down already.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. It was up not even 20 minutes. Well, when did we start the show? 30 minutes ago? Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
It was up.
Well, anyway, I guess she she took it down already. It basically was saying, like, not a lot of people are going to be judgmental, and it's hard to deal with this sort of thing, which I know it is. Like, we all have that family member that's embarrassing, that's that's dealing with issues and stuff. I have like 17 of them, to be honest with you. A lot of them right now. A lot of them doing these things. Let's see. Oh, okay, here it is. As many of you know, Kanye has bipolar disorder. Anyone who has this, or a loved one in their life who does, knows how incredibly complicated and painful it is to understand. I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home because I am very protective of our children and Kanye's right to privacy when it comes to his health. But today I feel like I should comment on it because of the stigma and misconceptions about mental health. Those that understand mental illness or even compulsive behavior know that the family is powerless unless the member is a minor. People who are unaware or far removed from this experience can be judgmental and not understand that the individual themselves has to engage in the process of getting help, no matter how hard family and friends try.
Yeah.
And you feel bad. You read that and you feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's a couple of things. Two things. You talk about right to privacy and all this and that shit, then give up the fucking cameras in the E! Show. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy when you're, like, on the one hand filming your entire life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they've been sucked into that. Or when they haven't wanted to be a part of it, they've had to kind of still film and work around it.
Exactly.
I mean, you're married. When you get into like a little spat with your partner and you just want to like hammer it out, or you want to figure it out or talk about it or whatever. But sometimes it takes like a little while or a day or so. Imagine having fucking strangers in there with boom mics and cameras and they're,
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. I mean,
get out of my face.
You can't have it, but give up the stupid TV show.
Yeah. That show. So dumb. I never watched that show, really.
The only time you ever see anything about it now is like if it makes like huge news, like when one of them slaps the shit out of the other. That's the only time anybody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think people actually really watch that still.
Yeah, no.
But you're right. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, and then, she talks about again, a little bit of a control freak thing in here where they say they're powerless unless it's a minor,
Come on.
A little bit of a control freak thing there. And then, she talks about no matter how hard they try. I mean, look, I get it. I get all that. But I feel like at a certain point, you got to be like, hey, man, you can't be out there saying all this crazy shit. Like, you got to stop. You're not running for president. We all know that. You got to stop,
I agree.
But I also feel like, and again, this is a little on the judgmental side. I also feel like you got that TV show and you're running whatever cosmetic company and apps and all this and that shit. Like, why don't you just put it on cruise control, put it on autopilot, let somebody take the brunt of it over for you and spend some time and focus on your marriage. Now, maybe she's doing that, and we just don't know it yet, but that show is still coming out, isn't it? Isn't there like a new season coming soon or something?
Yeah.
And,
and I don't know. I feel like they're a very odd couple too. I don't know. Even when they first got there, I'm like, these two, really?
Yeah. Well, supposedly he always had like a thing for her. That's what he said.
Oh, really?
He said he was like obsessed with her for a while, even like pre-sex tape, and then the sex tape never derailed him. I mean, good for him. I'm not a big enough of a man to be able to like get around something like that, but if he can, good for him. That's just weird to me.
Yeah, that is odd.
But he also did say, and this was part of it, he did say that he was annoyed that she posed for Playboy or posed nude or whatever she posed for a couple of years ago.
Right.
And you remember the first time like the nude photos of her or whatever leaked out, something, or the sex tape, I forget what it was, she was freaking out and pissed off. And then like 3 years after that, she posed nude anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, what's that proven? Wasn't it said that her mother leaked it so that she become more famous? Yeah.
Yeah, there's that.
I believe that. I believe that she would, because she's crazy, the mother.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's the problem with these people with their nonstop drive. Like, it's like, bro, hire a CEO, go on vacation, like take you could do it. You can afford it. Go hit the beach for a month and a half, get your husband, get his mind at ease. No. And figure out what's what after that.
Weirdos.
Because maybe
they have the money to do it.
They have the money to do it. And maybe being Kim Kardashian is not the thing and that's the thing. Can you give up being Kim Kardashian? Do you really love your husband? Can you give that up to put that strength into him? I don't think she can. No. I don't know if she
I don't think so.
cares for him that much, to be honest with you. And they have like, 4 kids now? 5 kids?
I think they have 4 kids.
Feels like
maybe 5.
Feels like that scene in Anchorman. This really escalated quickly. I remember the one kid, then all of a sudden there's 4 friggin' kids standing there. It's like,
I know.
How did this happen? So creepy. All right, lastly, J-Sabs, KFC is, I kid you not, looking into ways to create a 3D printed nugget. This is a real thing. Fast food chain has officially announced it's partnering with a Russian research laboratory, 3D printing solutions, to develop technology for what it calls meat of the future. Laboratory produced chicken nuggets.
That sounds horrific.
Still doesn't sound.
It's like the equivalent to like a marinara sauce at the Olive Garden. Sorry, all you Olive Garden fans out there, but you have no clue
what real
Italian food tastes like.
As disgusting as this sounds, it does not sound as disgusting as Olive Garden marinara sauce. You're 100% right. If I put a 3D printed chicken nugget next to you and marinara sauce on the other side, which one would you eat?
I'd probably eat the chicken nugget.
Yeah, I would think I would too. The chicken nugget,
horrific.
The chicken nugget may make us more sick, but at least we won't have to deal with the flack from our families as a result of eating the marinara sauce.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because you can't have Nona mad at you for too long. That's something you'll never recover from. Food poisoning from 3D printed meat, that'll pass over time,
Yeah. Not the marinara.
Not the stigma that comes from that. That's not a good thing. Yeah, they're going to use chicken cells and plant material to do this.
Okay. Now I'm officially nauseous. There's nothing worse to me. I think even more than marinara sauce than fake chicken. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I hate fake chicken. Ugh.
Fake beef, I feel like, is a little easier to think about than fake chicken.
Yes. Fake chicken.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Why is that? Is
Like
it
the fake chicken nuggets. Oh God. Oh God, I'm getting hot right now thinking about it.
do you
Really?
remember that paste, that pink paste that was rotating around the internet for years and years and years of like, oh,
Yes.
remember like on the bottom of like those tabloidy articles, there was always like those 6 pictures that are completely ridiculous. That chicken paste was always down there at the bottom on
I'll
that
never
thing.
forget that chicken paste. Nope.
Disgusting. And do you remember it was a number of years ago, but they had like chicken breasts on a counter and they were like pumping it full of something and it was like blowing. Do you remember that video too? What happened to that video?
I don't even know. We got to look for it.
I think they said it was BS after a little while, but that's still that image haunts my nightmare.
Oh,
Like
disgusting.
a Jeffrey Epstein story. You can't shake some of these things.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of gross. It's weird though, like they're making all this Beyond Meat and everything, so it's almost like not as disgusting as this would have been like 10 years ago, but you're right. The chicken thing makes it kind of disgusting.
yeah. Sorry, I can't do it.
But it makes me think of Demolition Man again because it's like we are just inching closer and closer to this fucking futuristic world that is going to be unrecognizable to the way we live right now.
Still no flying cars.
Still no flying cars, but they talk about how like it's environmentally more friendly to eat this way and it's like cheaper. Like when you start having a couple of things that stack up on each other that make sense, you're like, oh shit, people are going to start investing in these companies now and it's going to be a thing. Yeah. Like it's weird because I'm all futuristic and I'm all on board for the Tesla, but once we start getting to, fake chicken, I kind of like, I want to pump the brakes a little bit here.
Yeah, step back.
Seriously. Ugh. And 3D print. Here's the thing: if you're going to develop a fake chicken, don't drag the 3D printing industry in on it. Like that, that's unnecessary. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah. Purdue is already making dinosaur chicken nuggets. You don't need to like pretend like your
Exactly.
3D technology is fucking better.
Right.
All right, J Sabs, we're gonna leave it there. You good with that?
I mean, now I'm nauseous, but okay.
Yeah, I got that like agita, like it's like
Yes.
it's right here right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to change my answer. I'd rather eat the marinara sauce than the chicken nugget.
What if somebody held a gun to your husband's head and said, dip that nugget into that marinara sauce and eat it, or else your husband gets it?
I don't know.
What's
Sorry,
worse,
guy.
eating chicken nugget, 3D printed chicken nugget in Olive Garden marinara sauce, or sending your husband to a geisha for an hour and a half? Which would you rather do?
Well, I don't worship him, so I'll take the chicken nugget. I'm walking around in tight dresses, taking small steps.
Yeah, they wear tight dress. Isn't that part of the thing?
Yes.
And something with the
Yes.
feet too, I feel like. Geishas have been around forever. I've heard of it. I've never fucking read a Wikipedia entry about a geisha. I've never spent that much energy on it. Now I feel stupid like I should have.
You know what? If I find some information, maybe I'll send it to you.
I still don't get the appeal of it. And is it just for men, or is it like, are there like male geishas that worship women? Is that a thing?
I wish. Definitely be there. I'm going to get my nails done.
Every guy listening is like, it's called a husband, asshole. You know, fucking.
Exactly.
All right, Janine, we'll leave it there.
Okay.
Good episode. AnthonyOnAir.com has all our links. The Apple podcast thing, rate and review. I appreciate we got some really nice comments over the last couple of days. Well, we got some nasty ones too, but that's par for the course.
Did you? I have to go look at them.
Don't look at them. You're not going to like them. We got some nice comments from people, and that's always appreciated. And of course, spread the word on the podcast. Throw it up on your social. Let people know that you're enjoying it. And that's certainly that's the best thank you can do. We will see you guys on the next episode. Again, visit AnthonyOnAir.com for all our links and info.
Bye.